my name's Colette Matriga. Welcome to Colette's Thermi Kitchen. I'm a Thermomix consultant here in Australia, and today I am bringing you my recipe for some beautiful fluffy scones. These scones are ready in half an hour, so with Mother's Day just around the corner, think of baking a batch, wrapping them in a tea towel and presenting them in a beautiful basket. They will be absolutely cherished by everyone who eats them. They're so yummy. So what you're going to need is 400 grams of self-raising flour, 50 grams of unsalted butter, 30 grams of sugar, 1 egg, 125 mils of cream and 125 mils of full-fat milk. So what we're going to do is combine all these in the Thermomix. So first of all, I'm going to add in that self-raising flour. Then the butter. Now you'll notice the butter has been cut into very small cubes. One of the golden rules about making scones is that everything has to be cold. So these have been taken out of the fridge right at the last minute, and that's really important. So that's gone in. And I'm going to add in my sugar as well. And then I'm just going to combine those in the Thermomix for 5 seconds at speed number 4. So that's kind of just broken that butter down a little bit and mixed it through with the sugar and the flour. And it's also sieved the flour and incorporated some air into it, which is great. I love the fact that I no longer need to sieve flour because I have a Thermomix. So just to show you, that's kind of what we've got. It doesn't look very impressive, but it's just all nicely mixed together. So now I'm going to add in those wet ingredients. I'm going to add an egg, the cream and the milk. And now we're going to bring up the kneading function of the Thermomix, and it's going to knead that. So I want to bring up the kneading functions. This is the TM6, so bringing up the dough. And the timing, I want to go for 20 seconds. And all I need to then do is hit the dough function and flick the dial. And that's going to knead that beautifully. So one of the great things is I can look through here and I can make sure it's not being kneaded too much, because we don't want that to happen when we're making scones. So let's have a look at our beautifully kneaded dough. There we go. So you can see it's kind of lumpy, it's not all combined. That is perfect, that's exactly what we want. If you over knead your scone mixture, it's going to be tough and not very pleasant. So I'm just going to tip that out onto my thermomat, turn the dial just to help that release a little bit, and get that dough out. So that's been released beautifully. Now, what I want to do is to shape this into about 4 centimeter thickness, but I don't want to overwork it. Remember, I just want to get it together. I'm not going to overwork it. My hands are warm. Remember that rule, everything is kind of cold. So that's going to be enough, and then I'm just going to give that a little bit of a roll. And it's going to be sticky, that's okay. If you need to, you can introduce just a little bit more flour. Okay, I'm going to whisk this up. But remember, we do not want to handle this too much at all. Perfect. So that's probably about right. So 4 centimeters. So 4 centimeters size-wise, remember the dial is 4 centimeters, so that will give you a guide, and that's about right for my scones. So all I need to now do is to cut them out. So I've got my cutter, and I'm using a 6 centimeter cutter. You can make little ones, bigger ones. When you actually cut them, you want to just pop your cutter into some flour so it doesn't stick and pull at this dough, and straight down and then straight up. And then what I'm going to do is grab my prepared tray. So all I've got on here is my thermo oven mat, and I'm just going to pop one of these little babies onto here. Excellent. So every time into that flour, and then straight down, straight up, and then onto your surface. So that's the last one done, but I've got some left over. So what we can do is we can actually combine these and keep cutting out, but you want to be gentle. Remember, we don't want to overwork the dough. So I'm just going to be as gentle as I can, and I'm going to try and not get too many cracks. And you will see that these will probably come out shaped a bit different, but they're going to be just as delicious. So hardly any combining there. I have got a few cracks in the top, but that's okay. And if you noticed, I've actually made them nice and snug on my mat, and that helps them to get nice and tall, which is what we want, nicely risen scones. So all I now need to do is top my scones, and I'm doing it with milk today, and I'm going to try and not let the milk run down the side, just on top. So with glazing, just so you know, if you're glazing with milk, you're going to get a kind of a paler scone. If you're doing it with an egg, you're going to get kind of a medium glazed one, and if you want a really dark glaze, just use the egg yolk. And they're going to go into a hot oven, 200 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes, and then they're going to be risen and just beautiful. So I'll come back and show you those in a minute. So here are the gorgeous scones, so let's have a little look. So you can see here, it's just lovely and crunchy on the outside, and just breaking into that middle. You can see how flaky that is. Oh, it's just going to be delicious. It smells amazing. So let's adorn this with my favourite. So I'm going to put a bit of strawberry jam on here.
So you're jam first, then cream second?
I am. What are you, Andrew? You're the same as me, aren't you? And then I'm just using the dollop cream, because clotted cream is quite hard to find here. So I quite like that dollop cream, or I'll whip up some chantilly cream, which is also nice. And as I am the cook, I get to taste this amazing scone. I'm so excited. Heaven, heaven. Want a little taste, Andrew? Really, really good. Please give them a go.
All gone.
All gone. Really yum. So that's my lovely scone recipe. I will put the recipe link up on my Facebook page. Now please remember, I am a Thermomix consultant, and I can help customers all over Australia. I've got hundreds of customers all over Australia, and I love working with them on their journey going forward. If you would like to buy a Thermomix, please click on the little link just above me, and you can be cooking these scones in about a week. How awesome is that? Thank you so much for watching. My name's Colette Matriga. I will see you real soon.